life, spare change man, you know, any change in a word or mole. Change is not a good word. And then there's hope. You remember your Greek mythology. The box that hope comes in, that's Pandora's box. And when Pandora opens the box, and death and disease and all the ills that plague mankind have been let loose, nothing is left in that box but hope. Is that a good thing when you got nothing left but hope? You know? It's a good thing when you got nothing left but hope in your retirement account. You know? Bringing politicians in to run the economy is like saying, "Dad burned dinner, let's get the dog to cook." You know? Politicians know nothing about economics. And, you know, the Democrats say, "We don't know what's wrong with capitalism, but we can fix it." And the Republicans say, "There's nothing wrong with capitalism, and we can fix that." You know, and all politicians, Democrats, Republicans, and Michael Bloomberg, they all want government to solve every one of the world's problems, from curing cancer to getting Angelina Jolie's tattoos removed. They want government to do this. Government can't run a post office. Government cannot figure out where mail goes, and mail has got our address right on the front. Now, do you think politicians understand this financial crisis that we've been through any better than the rest of us do? No, nobody understands this financial crisis. Guy down the road from me, a lot of cars up on blocks in his front yard, he falls behind on his mortgage payments, and the economy of Iceland explodes. Nobody understands this. Nobody understands. But Obama, he's got a great economic plan anyway. If it's working, tax it. If it isn't working, bail it out. And if it's just scraping by, drop Barney Frank on it until it screams for help. Now, I love splitting the assets of troubled financial institutions into good banks and bad banks. Good assets go to a good bank, bad assets go to a bad bank. I am so opening a checking account at a bad bank. Because new customers at a bad bank, we don't get toasters, we get whiskey and guns. And our personalized checks at the bad bank checkbooks, they don't have pretty pictures on them, they have a little printed message, "This is a stick-up." You know? Politics takes over the car industry. I can predict the results. Lightweight, compact vehicle with a small carbon footprint using sustainable alternative energy. When I was a kid, we called it a Schwinn. Now, government is going into the health insurance business to compete with the private sector. Right? Just one more competitor. Just same as everybody else, right? Just one more competitor, same as everybody else, except what does this competitor have that other competitors don't have? Well, this competitor has legal monopoly on deadly force. Now, what's another organization that gets into business? Just a competitor, like any other competitor, except they got guns. That's the Sopranos, right? I mean, the mob is trying to get into the healthcare insurance business. Over at Blue Cross, it's like being the last legit trash hauler in New Jersey. You know? And incidentally, I think it a little weird that the president is framing this whole debate in terms of insurance. Insurance. When your house is on fire, do you call Allstate? No, you call 911. It's not about insurance. Furthermore, I wish you would quit talking about healthcare providers. What is a healthcare provider? I mean, that could be some guy just off the boat from China with a fistful of rusty acupuncture needles, you know? Healthcare provider. That was the school nurse when I was in 4th grade who gave you peppermint oil if you broke your neck on the swing set. You know? I want a doctor, thank you. I don't want a healthcare provider. And P.S. to the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton already reformed healthcare 16 years ago, you know? And just the outline of Hillary's 1993 healthcare plan was 1,400 pages long. You could stand on it to paint the ceiling. The entire U.S. Constitution could be printed on 5 pages. That's 5 pages to run a whole country for 233 years versus 3 reams of government pig Latin if you slam your thumb in the cardboard. I mean, that's it. A lot of people say Hillary's healthcare plan almost destroyed Clinton's first term. You know, certainly diminished Hillary's influence in the White House. You'll recall that Bill Clinton had to seek help from a different woman to almost destroy his second term. And when President Obama tells us that there is a political solution for healthcare problems, what he's telling us is that we can increase the quality of medical treatment, increase the number of people who receive medical treatment, and decrease the total cost. Now, I only got as far as practical math when I was in high school, but that just doesn't add up. It's like me saying that I can smoke, drink, and gain 200, and then when I'm 95, I can win an Ironman triathlon. In other words, as the Honorable Joe Wilson put it with admirable brevity, you lie. You lie. We have got the cow of economic freedom. Now, are we going to take her to market and trade her for the magic beans of the federal stimulus package? When we climb that beanstalk, we're going to find a giant government up there, And when you think that we're going to be as lucky as Jack and the Beanstalk was, I'm not even sure that Jack was that lucky with his giant killing. I mean, Jack the Giant Killer, that's Jack's version, that's all we know. I mean, my guess is that what actually happened is that Jack spent years getting investigated by giant subcommittees, and then now Jack is paying a giant tax, on Jack's salary, which is determined by a federal compensation czar who's 40 feet tall, Now, I have covered politics. I have covered politics for 29 years. I know politicians. I like politicians. I am friends with politicians from both sides of the aisle. Politicians are great until they stick their nose into things they don't understand, such as making a living. And then politicians turn into ratchet jaw purveyors of monkey doodle and baked wind. They are piddlers upon merit, beggars at the doors of accomplishment, thieves of livelihood, envy-coddling tax lice, applauding themselves for giving away other people's money. They are the lapdogs of the poli-sci class, returning to the vomit of collectivism. They are pig herders, tending that sow who eats her young, the welfare state. They are muck-dwelling bottom feeders growing fat on the worries and disappointments of the electorate. They are the ditch cart in the great river of democracy. That's what one of their friends says, okay? So, now one of the enduring problems that we face in politics is that we insist on blaming our political problems on those politicians, We think lousy politicians are what's wrong. We got rid of George W. Bush. Everything is wonderful, right? We got peace in Afghanistan, love in Iraq, unemployment is down around 2%, right? The problem isn't politicians. The problem is politics. Politicians are chefs, some good, some bad. Politics is skunk, boiled skunk, The problem isn't the cook, the problem is the food. Or let me restate that. The problem isn't the cook, the problem is the cookbook. See, politics is the idea that all of society's ills can be cured politically. This is like having a cookbook where the recipe for everything is to fry it. The fruit cocktail is fried, the soup is fried, the salad is fried, so is the ice cream and cake. Your Merlot is rolled in breadcrumbs and dunked in a deep fat fire. This is just no way to cook up public policy. Like cash for clunkers, Where I live in New Hampshire,